Good morning. This is Jill. I'm Saipan Stamper, and today's weekly video is about card templates, why to use them, how to use them, and uh, I'm going to show you one template and five different ideas, different orientations, different ways to use the template. So I hope you're excited about it. I don't always use templates. A lot of times I'll just see a stamp set and have an idea already or have lots of ideas already. But when I get stuck, I do a lot of card making. When I get stuck and I really need to have something a little bit different, I pull out a template and it's just contagious for me. I really love all the many things you can do with it. So let's get started with some stamping, and I will show you everything that I've made. Okay, so today I'm going to start with a template that was in last year's annual catalog, and I usually write down where I find my templates. I cut them to a quarter size sheet and then I store them in a little bucket so that I have them all handy and it's easy to like bring out to my desk or different desks to sort through them and decide what one I want to do. So this was from the 2024 to 2025 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. And it has these wavy lines down here, a block up here, and that's it. So as my upline Sandra Lowe tells me, simple templates are the best templates because they just give you the more leeway to create the way you want to create. So for the first card, I am going to start with, I'm going to leave this here so you can see it. And I'm going to start with some of my lovely two-tone paper. This is in Lost Lagoon. And then I have a quarter sheet of Pool Party and a white for the background. So this is 5.5 by 8.5, and this is 4 by 5.25. Okay, I have already tested this because that's the kind of girl I am, and I am using the Sunrise Sailing stamp set bundle. Here it is. And all that I'm using for this is these few die cuts. So we have a cloud out of the white. So it uses very little paper for this. A white sail. And then 3 little white seagulls. I'm going to leave those right inside that die because they disappear very quickly. They're so tiny. And then I did a brown base for my sailboat. And it is, there's a very small little section that connects the top of the sailboat to the bottom. So I try to be very gentle with this. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on top of here and go ahead and put the sail on and let that dry so I can handle it when I get ready to put the rest of my card together. So I'll put this on here and center it so that the top hits the dot there. It's so wiggly. Okay, there. And leave that aside for the moment. I'm so tempted to touch it. Look, I can't help myself. Okay, I'm going to take the 4 by 5.25 piece, and I am going to I'm going to tear some strips to put along the bottom so that it looks like ocean. So I'm just going to tear a couple of them. This piece is, let's see, 2.25 inches wide. This is just some pieces I had left in my, my little cello envelope that I keep in my stamp case. So this is what we're using. So I want to start with dark bottom. I don't know why. I always like to put the base as a little darker color. And let's use glue for this. I'm going to just put a strip of glue down here. And put it down at the bottom. And then we're going to tuck a couple more in. But before we do that, I will show you, this is how I store my glue in here. And if I'm using it, you know, like I'm going to put glue on these one after the other, I just leave it in here without the cap. It does get a little gluey bits on the top. I just pull it off. But you can leave it in here for a short time. Don't do it for a long time because then it will clog. But this is a nice way for me to keep my glue even with the cover on, because then when I pick it up, I don't have to shake it quite as much. I find it ever so convenient. And that is a nail polish bottle holder that you can buy on Amazon. So you may want to venture to find them. They're pretty cheap. So I'm going to use a lighter Lost Lagoon next. And then I'm going to go back to the dark. No, that one's there. That one's dark. Okay. So I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to put another bit of glue here. We did some of this last week with the Darling Dinos. So if you haven't seen that one, you can go back and check that out. Oh, okay. I'm just going to tuck this in here as far as I can, keeping the edges aligned. And then I'm going to put another layer. So I have 3, so I'm following it pretty closely. I should get points for that. I'm not really, well, I am a rule follower, but not really when it comes to stamping. Okay, so that just makes us some like realistic looking ocean waves. And I love that. So then I have my cloud and I have my boat. And I'm going to just put, oh, look, I'm already almost out of dimensionals, but don't worry, I keep a bunch of them on hand because I create almost every day of the week. So always use up all of your dimensionals by using the edges as well. Gives you more money to spend on other things. Then I'm just going to put one dimensional here and one on the other sail. And I'm going to use a small one on the base, just so if someone's handling the card, the base is attached and they're not going to, you know, like, not going to rip at that small little section there. So I will take the backing off. There. And go ahead and stick this in here. I think I'm just going to put one edge just a little bit behind the wave. Oops, I'm squishing it. There. Put that down there. On the cloud, I thought I would stamp the saying on that. I'm going to put it up here. So here's my template. I have this. Now, obviously, it's looking for a thing to go like this, but my cloud does not go that way. So I'm already changing things up, but that's what a template's for. You don't need to follow it exactly. You can, if that works for you. It's totally fine. You can do it as many times. And I have 5 different cards and themes. So you'll realize just how versatile these card templates are. So I've got this. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. That's a big one, so that will do. And put this on here. It's just so cute already, right? And then now is my time to take out, what I do a little, see, I would have lost them. The tiny little seagulls. And I'm just going to use two, I think. I might put a third one. You just never can tell. And it's impossible to put it's impossible for me to put a little glue on the back of that and then pick it up and turn it over. So let me just sort of position them where I want them. This is a bugger. Gee, just like real seagulls, these are uncooperative. So I'm going to put them somewhere like that. So I'm just going to put one little dab of glue right below that. And that is, I see, it's so hard. You can barely even see it. Tiny little bits of glue. And then I'm just going to pick this up and put the widest bit of the seagull right there. That way the glue's not squishing out. The seagull is adhered. All great. And now that I've got this done, I'm just going to fold my card base in half with my bone folder. And put this on the front. So it's super fast and easy. The sunrise sailing dies are so fun to use, and there's beautiful stamps to go with them. I've already done a class on it, and everybody loved it. Okay, I've got a little bit of unevenness on this, so I'm just gonna take my scissors and cut that. There, it's better. And that is our super cute card. On the inside, yes, I put a white on white on the inside. It's my preference, my paper, I can do it. Some people think it's just not necessary. I'm going to take another little bit of this and put it on the bottom so it mimics the outside of the card. And before I put it on there, I'm going to make sure I'm stamping in case I need to turn my paper over. So this stamp is from the almost 29, I think it's called. I had it out this morning and now it's disappeared. The new stamp set with the snarky sayings, we used that last week as well. And this is, I don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom. Put this on. Oh, and it's a little bit bigger. That's probably why I had something overlapping. It's a little bit bigger, so I'll trim that little bit off. And then adhere it to the inside of my card. So it's cute, right? And it's pretty quick. I wish I time myself, but I can't see on the video how long it's been yet because I can't. So this is going to go on the inside. But a very quick card. Cute. And it sort of follows the template. So I have some more examples to show you. And okay, so next, I'm going to leave this one out just so you'll be able to see them all at the end. So next I took, these are with new supplies, brand new supplies. Um, so anybody could make this. Then I went through my stash. I needed to make some baby cards. This stamp is so old that this is a wooden stamp, but I kept some of my favorite wooden stamps, and I'm glad I have this. So I took also a retired paper. Um, I didn't have another pattern that went with it, so I took a piece of the cardstock and ran it through the eyelet embosser. And then I also repeated that texture under the saying here. So technically, this one follows the pattern. It's got the three, it's got something coming down this way. So if we turn it this is how it goes. I also, these are retired gems. They're clear. And then I took the Flirty Flamingo color and blend, and I colored the top of it before I put them on. And then on the inside, also a wood stamp. If you like your wood stamps, keep them. But I only keep the ones I use. I don't have enough space to keep all of my stamps. Okay. Then I used Turtley Awesome. I cut this out of the cardstock. I did these three strips with the Granny Apple Green two-tone. This stamp is from the set, the bundle, and the gems also go with it. This one opens up like this. Again, I repeated the torn edge down here because I just think it goes very nicely with the inside. And happiest wishes on your birthday, mixing the old and the new together. Excuse me. The first card was all new supplies. The second one was all old supplies. And this one was uses them both together. I don't know where my words go sometime. So this one follows pretty closely. Close enough. Okay. And then I brought in the Kintsugi paper. I don't have the stamp set yet, so I used an inside saying from Peace on Earth, which would be available in September. It was available to demonstrators earlier. So this is just cut from the paper. These were die cut with gold foil. And I just looked through all my die cuts and found ones that had little leaves in them. They had to be short because the vase is really tall. So 3 different types of paper. So I put this saying down here, and if you can imagine, there's a vase here. This one's also following it pretty closely, but totally different vibe than these, right? Each one of these has a different vibe. And one more. Then I took out the Impressions Abloom and I put these through the die cut machine, did the inner texture on them, pop dotted the circle, and this is all die cuts. I did the corrugated folder, embossing folder in the back, also in Granny Apple Green. And then this hello is from a old kit. I can't remember whether it was a, paper pumpkin kit or one of the kits that you purchase, but either way, they're a good place to look for sayings when you really just can't find what you need. So 5 different ones. This one has a saying go this way, down, mine goes across, and then it's got the strips of paper. So all of these use the strips of paper and other pieces to make this magic happen. And I just kept wanting to go even more because it was so fun to use these and make this many different things. So I'm really not done. I might make even more. Um, You'll just have to tune in next week and find out. So thank you for joining me. I hope to see you next week. Please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget that you can mix and match your old stamps and new stamps, and that templates are a great way to get more out of your supplies and make new and different things. Have a good day and happy week, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.